Hi, this is Tom Adams, and I want to welcome you to this week's Thrive in 5. This week, I want to help you to show up like no one else. And in order to do that, I want to explain to you this concept called force multiplier. Force multiplier comes from military language, and force multiplier is really when you're in a war. What you want to do is actually multiply the effectiveness of your campaign by actually doing things, multiplying the effectiveness of your campaign by doing different tactics. And so in a war, you might actually have a land campaign, you might have an air campaign, you might have a sea campaign, you might have a sort of an undercover campaign, you might have all kinds of different activities coming from different ways. And the effect of that throughout history has been when you do that well, you improve your chances of actually winning. Well, I want to translate that into a marketing context. And the force multiplier effect in marketing is really to first understand your prospect and understand who they are. If you have a good sense of who your prospect is, and it's particularly helpful if they live within a particular niche or a particular vertical, and it's your job to, and they're most effective as your client, they're a good choice for a client, then it's your goal is to show up like no one else using this force multiplication technique. And really what that is to understand that most of us do one or two things to try and get a client. We tend to do, say, web, or we do telemarketing. Well, force multiplication actually says to you, around this particular prospect, I want to come at them from so many different angles that they get to know who I am, they know, they like, they trust me. And in marketing, this, just as an example, could be this. Let's look at the first one. Well, advertising is a great way to get in front of prospects. And there's a whole lot of companies who do a lot of advertising. Not a bad place to go, but let's multiply that force and let's actually do events. So trade shows, customer events, client events, that's another great way to do it. Now, how about this one? What if you actually become an expert in that particular field? And so you're seen and noted as an expert, and you're constantly, to this particular prospect audience, becoming the expert in a particular field. What about providing educational tools? This could be webinars, seminars, downloads, information resources. Those are great ways to educate your prospect. Let's keep going. What if we now use publicity and public relations, and that gives you another way to get in front of your client and your prospect? Now, what about direct mail? Let's actually add that to the equation. Direct mail, you start direct mailing your particular prospect. And then you use the power of the web, and the web allows you to be present in different ways. And then social media, and just for fun, let's do joint ventures as well. So what begins to happen is now the force multiplier effect comes into effect on your prospects and on that particular niche community that you're working to target with your particular services or products. Now, to add to that, if the force multiplication effect has such potent effect, watch what happens when you start doing force multiplication within one of the force multipliers. So under web, you do pay-per-click, you do SEO, you do local. Under social media, you do Facebook, you do LinkedIn, you do Twitter, you do Google+. That's force multiplication within that particular category. You do that, and amazing things happen. You have the knowledge. Now go do something good with it. We'll talk to you soon.